One of the most interesting teams from the North American International Championship, where the team was able to finish 9-3 and almost make it into the top cut final stages, featured Terrafire Overheat Miraidon alongside Iron Bundle with U-Turn and Ice Beam. We're going to be trying out a crazy team and seeing how well it can perform. This Sun team that's really able to power up the Raging Bolt has some really wild techs that we don't commonly see. Let's break it down. First up, we have the Assault Vest Miraidon with the Hadron engine that is able to summon the electric terrain and power up the Miraidon's special attack damage output with the Fire Terror type, which is an interesting typing that's able to resist really strong fairy coverage and power up the Overheat that it has access to. And this Miraidon with Electro Drift, Volt Switch, Parabolic Charge, and Overheat. It is definitely a Miraidon set we don't commonly see. Assault Vest, sure, we see Assault Vest. We usually see it with Snarl. Maybe we see some Terra Fairy Gleam sets with Assault Vest, but Assault Vest with Parabolic Charge and Overheat, yeah, we don't really see this commonly. So you have the Overheat that is able to be powered up in the sun with the Terrafire and Helping Hand access with both Farigiraf and Groudon. This is ways you can threaten Riolabooms, as well as just like a lot of Pokemon that do not resist Overheat, like Cali Ice. You'd be able to one-shot it. Boom. So it actually has quite a bit of potential against Pokemon that normally would resist a Miraidon's attacks. So you have that Overheat to put on a lot of pressure, especially into like opposing ground types and more. You have Parabolic Charge that's able to be a spread electric type move. You have an immunity with your Groudon. You have a 4x resistant Raging Bolt, and you do have access to the Terra Ground on the Iron Bundle as well as a Farigiraf. So you can actually get the Parabolic Charge and get some healing, which could be very nice. Electro Drift and Volt Switch, I think we all know those are really powerful electric type moves and not much to say about them. The EV spread on this Miraidon, max special attack, so it can actually do a lot of damage, has some good amount of HP, 116 with 4 in the defenses, which are a remainder. Because you do have 132 speed with a Timid Nature, this allows you to pretty much outspeed any of the opposing 135s that are neutral natures. So for instance, Modest Miraidons, Adamant Chien Pals, Adamant Koraidons, and more. It is a Miraidon that's able to tank attacks and dish out a good amount of damage across the board. Next Pokemon we have is the Life Orb Raging Bolt with the Photosynthesis, which gives it a special attack booster in the sunlight with the Electric Terror type to power up its electric type moves even further with the moves Protect, Draco Meteor, Rising Voltage, and Thunderclap. So pretty standard Raging Bolt. We see the set a lot, especially on the Sun teams, but running Rising Voltage instead of Thunderbolt. So Rising Voltage is the 70 base power electric type move, which doubles in power when the electric terrain is on the field. So it becomes a 140 base power, and when you think about it, with the Electric Terror type, with the Life Orb, with the Photosynthesis that's giving a special attack booster, all those multipliers, Rising Voltage can do absolutely insane amounts of damage. So it can do a lot of damage. Oko Pokemon like Cali Ice, Pokemon you would not think it would be able to KO. It is an absolute wall breaker, and even the bulkiest of Mons will be taking a lot from that Rising Voltage. EV spread wise, you do capitalize on this being a max special attack to do pretty much as you can possibly do with the Raging Bolt getting access to both the electric terrain and the Sun Photosynthesis on this team. The 140 in speed, and you do outspeed Calyx Shadow Rider under the Tailwind, with the remainder going into HP and the defenses. Across the board, this Raging Bolt is going to be destroying some Mons and shocking them literally till they faint. Next Pokemon we have is the Covert Cloak Whimsicott, preventing it from getting hit by secondary effects like the Fake Out Flinch and Icy Wind speed drops, Snarl special attack drops, and more, with the Prankster ability that gives a +1 priority to any of its non-attacking moves, with the Steel Terror type, which is an interesting Terror type, but able to help out resist Fairy type moves as well as Draco Meteor still, while also resisting the Glacial Lance from the Calyx Ice Riders. With Tailwind, Light Screen, Grass Knot, and Encore. Pretty standard Whimsicott for the most part. You have Encore, which of course is a very disruptive move. You have Light Screen, which is able to boost the special defense on your side, especially with the Miraidon with the Assault Vest, and the ground that doesn't have Assault Vest does appreciate it. And Tailwind for the speed control. Grass Knot over Moonblast. That is an interesting choice, but it does make sense because being able to hit ground types, especially since you are running double electric, can be very helpful. Being able to chip away at like opposing Groudons, being able to chip away at like Kyogres for some decent damage in the Weather Wars, it can be a very nice thing to have. So Grass Knot able to hit Pokemon that you might not expect. And you do have the Iron Bundle mode that's able to hit the dragon types that you would normally have Moonblast for. EV spread wise, you do have a lot of bulk and a good amount of speed. The Timid does allow the Whimsicott with 148 speed investment, does allow you to outspeed the Timid Landorus Incarnates. And then the rest of the investment, a good amount of special defense with 204 special defense and 156 HP. So the Whimsicott is able to survive multiple attacks from really high special attack damage output mons like the Calyx Shadow out of Astral Barrage after that light screen is set up. Next Pokemon we have is a mon we don't see too often anymore. It's the Focus Sash Iron Bundle with the Quark Drive ability, giving it a speed booster in the electric terrain with the Ground Terra type that helps it specifically for the electric type moves, especially from opposing Miraidon and even your own Miraidon if you want to go for Parabolic Charge next to it. With the Icy Wind, Ice Beam, U-Turn, and Protect. Iron Bundle, a Pokemon that has faded because we don't really see it too much, but is able to help out against like Scarf Miraidon. It's really able to outspeed like Speed Booster Fluttermane. It is a mon that will just turn the tide of a battle because of the Icy Wind with the speed control, which can just chip away quite a bit of damage because it does have a solid special attack set, and Ice Beam, which we don't commonly see because of the fact that we normally see Freeze Dry, a move that's able to be super effective against the water type mons as well. But running the Ice Beam instead to have more power so it can do more damage to the ground type mons, because you are running double electric on this team, you don't really need to be able to hit Urshifu, and it does miss knockouts, especially with the freeze dry. So the Ice Beam, it does appreciate the extra power. U-turn, so you have a pivot move, which can be nice, and then protect. The EV spread, pretty simple. It's just a 252 in both special attack and speed, running max speed, so you do outspeed the max speed base 135s if they have a choice scarf or at +1 speed. And you are just able to dish out, again, good amounts of damage with Icy Wind Speed Disruption. You have the Ice Beam combo, U-turn to be able to pivot around. It is a Pokemon we don't commonly see as much. However, the speed control, again, extra necessary and useful for when you do want to rely on Raging Bolt being able to clean up the game, and you don't have the fastest Miraidon, and also allows the Groudon to be able to outspeed certain mons. Next Pokemon we have is a Leftovers Groudon with the Drought ability to summon the Sunlight with the Fire Terra type with Precipice Blades, Protect, Helping Hand, and Heat Crash. So this is a very interesting Groudon set. Helping Hand as the support move, but it makes sense because with those multipliers, you also have Helping Hand access to the Raging Bolt, which can allow for already insane rising voltage just to absolutely destroy. Like, it would KO a Moongus, it would KO pretty much a lot of resist. Like, it's very hard to name a mon that probably survives the rising voltage, or a mon that's not even taking at least 90%, even if they resist with like a Terra Grass or something. Then also you have the access to the Helping Hand Thunderclap with electric terrain and the Sunlight. Yeah, Helping Hand can help Iron Bundle pick up knockouts that it would miss with the Ice Beam, especially, and it powers up the Miraidon, so it can have basically what it would have, like a choice specs on an Assault Vest set that's already having some bulk. So Helping Hand Groudon is definitely an interesting choice, and Leftovers is definitely one because his team doesn't run like grassy terrain or anything. I'm assuming it's just so the Groudon, while it's playing passive, you're able to get a bit of Leftovers recovery, and allows Groudon to be able to take moves that were like maybe originally a 2-shot or a 3-shot, turn it to a 3-shot, 4-shot, and you aren't utilizing the Groudon more offensively with like a clear amulet, so the Leftovers terrain can just stack up over time, especially if you're like fighting Rillaboom as well, which can be very helpful, as getting the HP on Groudon, allowing to stick around, can be pretty nice. The Precipice Blades, really strong ground coverage. Heat Crash, be able to be a weight-based fire type attack where Groudon's really heavy. It can affect Pokemon like Rillaboom and Moongus for the knockout, which can be nice, and Protect to keep itself around. EV spread wise, max HP, 76 attack with Inanimate Nature gives it an extra stat point in its attack stat, with the rest remaining going 84 in speed. This just allows, I think, for some speed creep numbers. Maybe there's some Tailwind numbers that allows it to outspeed Choice Scarf mons under the Tailwind, or Icy Wind, as well as it allows you to outspeed, I think, anything around the base 110 area. So you can go for an Icy Wind plus an attack, double up with the Groudon. The special defense, you still want some special defense to be able to take on like Pokemon like the Calyx Shadow or like Miraidon and its weaker stat, and then the remaining going into defense. So Groudon, more of a support Pokemon on this team. It doesn't really take advantage of like really powerful attacks. The support mons, really, it is actually the support Pokemon compared to the Pokemon it would be with. So Groudon will be supporting the team with the Sunlight, as well as the Helping Hand access that it does have access to, while being a good answer to opposing Miraidon. Final Pokemon on this team is the Electric Seed Farigiraf, which is able to give a +1 defense boost when the electric terrain is up with the Armor Tail ability that prevents any priority from affecting your side of the field, with the Fairy Terra type a great defensive typing in general, especially against the super effective dark type attacks that can affect the Farigiraf and be immune to like Draco Meteor from opposing Miraidon. With Helping Hand, Trick Room, Roar, and Foul Play. So definitely an interesting Farigiraf, not running any same type attack bonus moves with no psychic option. However, Foul Play to be able to hit Calyx Shadow Rider and Ice Rider, which are the main Pokemon you bring Farigiraf for to do damage to. You have the Trick Room option, which is always really nice, can help out with Raging Bolt and Groudon being able to sweep games in some cases. Helping Hand, of course, is able to power up the attacks of your allies. And your Roar option, which is interesting for opposing Trick Room, for any setup mons like Terapagos. It is able to be a very nice disruptor. And of course, you do have options like Roar, self-roar into like your Miraidon or your Raging Bolt after they used Overheat Draco Meteor, especially if they drop to -2, then you could go for the Roar and get a free switch. So there's a lot of things that Roar Farigiraf can benefit for. With the EV spread, 204 HP, which is able to live the final gamut from Annihilate, a 164 in defense, which is able to just take attacks, especially with the bold nature, with the rest remaining going into special defense. Or special attack is kind of whatever because it's just leftover special attack. It can't take advantage of psychic. And then 28 speed because this allows the Farigiraf to outspeed base 100s after Tailwind is set up from the Whimsicott if you do have that scenario. So how to use the team. A lot of the team, you do have some interesting modes. You have different speed control methods with the Tailwind Whimsicott, the Icy Wind Iron Bundle, and the Electric Terrain alongside the Farigiraf with the Trick Room mode. You have quite a few ways, but really it is about the Raging Bolt dishing out as much damage as you possibly can, utilizing the powerful Rising Voltage in the Electric Terrain, in the Sunlight, the Thunderclap options. It is really just going to be able to cause a lot of pain and get really big knockouts. So setting up the Raging Bolt is key. You set it up with those partners. You have the Miraidon, Groudon for the Sunlight and the Electric Terrain, but they are also able to do damage. Of course, Groudon great against opposing Miraidon. Aggressive Blades is always super threatening. The Fire type coverage for the Grass type and the Grass type Terras. Miraidon's able to hit them as well with the Overheat that can hit Cali Ice as well, which is pretty important. And then has the electric moves. You do have to threaten like Terra Water, Cali Ice, and you are able to do a bunch of damage and still have good bulk with the Miraidon. With the Assault Vest is able to take attacks. The Groudon can take an attack or two and then maybe heal back up constantly with the leftovers that could add up during a game, but really just dish out as much damage as you can with Raging Bolt. You have quite a few different lead options. You have the Miraidon plus Whimsicott / Iron Bundle for the immediate speed control. You do have like Whimsicott that can just lead with anything for the Tailwind mode. You do have the combo of like Farigiraf that can lead with Miraidon, of course. With the Armor Tail, you have the Groudon Farigiraf as well. There's just so much you can potentially lead, but again, all of it is just going to come down to leading generally for supporting and setting up a Raging Bolt game. If you'd like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the terrain moves like Expanding Force, Rising Voltage, and Grassy Glide, which were big ones we got from the Sword and Shield era during the DLC. I think all these moves are absolutely insane, and the fact that Rising Voltage was used somewhat in Sword and Shield, but not too much. Grassy Glide, of course, is pretty much a staple in Rillaboom. It's really powerful. Expanding Force just created a whole new Psy Spam archetype, which made it absolutely insane. While Psy Spam did exist before, but Expanding Force really just changed it to another level. So let me know what you think about these moves. Are they too powerful? But they are on only niche mons. However, these niche mons, when they're set up properly, can do a lot of damage. We'll see if the Rising Voltage Raging Bolt will be able to do as much as we expect it to do in this episode. But let us get started and play some games. Miraidon, Calyx Ice Rider, Incineroar, Ogerpon Heartflame, Whimsicott, and Urshifu. Interesting to see double fire on this build. Okay. Raging Bolt's really good here. And I mean really good. I just gotta dance around the Miraidon. I might bring Farig. Farig is not bad. It's not necessary though. I'm trying to debate about what I'm leading here. I kind of like Groudon, Miraidon set up immediately. I do actually like it a lot, so I think I will lead it. Back-wise, I'm going to bring the Raging Bolt. And I think I want to bring... It's either Iron Bundle or Farigiraf. I kind of like the Iron Bundle more. As a backup to... Again, if I beat the Miraidon, I can just Rising Voltage through their entire team. Which is the goal here. And I also have Helping Hand Groudon with Thunderclap. That should be able to be super powerful. Get electric terrain. Whimsicott Calyx Ice Rider is fine versus Miraidon Groudon. You are not jolly Cali Ice. I refuse to believe you're jolly Cali Ice. I could overheat the Cali Ice turn 1. Which I'm debating about. Do I want to overheat the Cali Ice immediately? I would KO the Cali Ice, I'd imagine. Ah, it's so tempting. And I mean so tempting. I could also just Volt Switch Terrafire Heat Crash to Whims and be in a probably pretty good spot. You know what? I'm overheating. I'm overheating. And I'm going to click... Helping Hand, or do I want to Heat Crash? I think I'm going to Helping Hand. If they Terra, they got me, but I don't know if they will Terra here. Maybe Protect. I can see Protect coming out, and Protect is fine. No Terra? Light Screen. Okay. I don't know if I KO now, but we'll see. We land to overheat. That Cali Ice just melted. Oh my goodness. Overheat Miraidon's actually kind of insane. All right, who would I bring out next? Air Miraidon, sure. I want to do it again to the Whimsicott. But we don't know if it's Sash Whims. I think my best play is still to Volt Switch the Whimsicott, and I think we go Iron Bundle here. I don't know who they're gonna Encore. They Encore one of my Mons. I'm not sure which one they will. I feel like Encore to Groudon's safe. No. There's I can't. I can't. I can't. All right, we have Koraidon Lunala, Indeedee Female, Raging Bolt, Incineroar, and the Scovillain. All right, we don't have a dark type, which kind of stinks because we don't have a way to be immune to Expanding Force. They also have Scovillain, which is an interesting mon here. Okay. How fast is my Miraidon again? Am I decently fast? I should be faster than Koraidon, and if they don't know I have Draco, this could be a great spot. Would I be faster than Scovillain? I would be. Okay. Man, I wish I had Snarl on the Miraidon. Snarl on the Miraidon would make this easier. I bring Raging Bolt. I think the play is to bring Miraidon and Iron Bundle because I actually like it against the Scovillain mode. Although I really don't think you should go to Scovillain mode. If they do, I'm in a good spot. But I think they'll probably bring the Indeedee mode with the Lunala. But I think it's probably fine in the long term. I think we go with Groudon and Farig back. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Because if they get Trick Room up, I can reverse it with Farig. And Farig is pretty good to match up against the Lunala. So it's not like that bad if they lead it. I want to lead against the offensive mode. They do lead the... Okay, the Lunala and the Indeedee. That's fine. Do I want to use my Sash immediately? Or do I want to just break the Shadow Shield? I actually have an interesting play that I could go for, actually, now that I think about it. The only thing is it does risk potential attacks here from the entity, but I think my best place to go for Rigraph and U-turn the Lunala. The only thing that this risks is follow me and the helmet is revealed on the entity, but I think that's probably an okay trade because I'd be able to get the electric terrain back and prevent expanding force from like blowing up my team. So I don't think that's a bad trade here. I wish I had Snarl because I could Snarl here if I had it, but I think we'll probably be okay here. Ideally, we break the Shadow Shield. If they follow me though, they probably Trick Room. Unless they want expanding force immediately. I am expecting kind of expanding force, but that's fine if they do. All right, so we retreat Miraidon to get in our Rigraph. So we have a Ghost immunity and a... Oh, they wide guard. They expected Snarl. Okay, this is really good then. This is really good. So they probably Trick Room with the entity. So I get a U-turn off in the Lunala. I break Shadow Shield, which is absolutely massive that we broke Shadow Shield. And then we get in our Miraidon. And now we can go for like Helping Hand, Electro Drift. We could reverse Trick Room. We have the Electro Seed boost as well. It's looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good. So let's see what they decide to go for here. Probably Trick Room, I'd imagine, if they made this play. Yep, exactly. Okay, super, super good. Okay, let's see. What do they have? I'm not I can't Draco. I wish I had Draco. So this is either reverse Trick Room or Helping Hand Volt Switch. I kind of like the idea of going for Helping Hand Volt Switch into the Lunala slot. They might retreat entity. They didn't though, so this might be Helping Hand instead, or Imprison. No, they follow me. Okay, that's fine too. What does Lunala click? Meteor Beam. That's fine. Okay. So is this in a Farigiraf or is this in a Miraidon? I should tank the attack just fine though. It is in a Farig. Okay. So me not taking damage at all is pretty nice. I do get the Helping Hand Volt Switch off into the entity. Almost take the knockout, but it's acceptable. I think we go Groudon here, and then the next question is where are they going to click? I would like to Sun Up. I am really, really concerned about a potential... I mean, I think the best place to reverse Trick Room. How fast is this Lunala is going to be a big question. I'm going to protect my Groudon. Because I think they're going to Helping Hand Moongeist Beam my Groudon. I don't think... I'm not even sure if Helping Hand Expanding Force without the terrain would knock out the Farigiraf in this range. So I don't think they're going to go for that. I think they either follow me here to redirect an attack from the Farigiraf being foul play, or they go for a... It's either Helping Hand Moongeist Beam or follow me Moongeist Beam. They wide guard. Did they reverse Trick Room? They're madman if they did. Okay, they follow me instead. Okay, that works out. Cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. So now I can threaten foul play into the Lunala. They wanted a free switch, I suppose. They wanted to KO. They wanted me to KO the entity while having access to Trick Room. But now I'm in a good spot because now I can go for like Precipice Blades plus foul play. Nice. They didn't wide guard. I get a Precipice Blades off in a foul play, assuming I am able to outspeed. They outspeed, but this shouldn't KO Groudon. And then Precipice Blades foul play is in a really good spot. Okay, cool. Nice. We land both too. Awesome. So funny that we can't see the Precipice Blades animation just because like Groudon is blocking the way. Foul play at that range might KO. Yeah, it does. Okay, nice. All right. So we're up 4-2, which is great. We'll get a bit of leftovers recovery on the Groudon, which actually might matter if I decide to tear against a Miraidon, but let's see what the last Pokemon are. Raging Bull Miraidon makes sense to me. Miraidon. Oh, it's Scovillain back. That's fine, right? Oh, maybe not. Actually, no, it is fine. Yeah, it is fine. I have Sash Bundle. The sun's going to end soon. I think we always just foul play to Miraidon and we go for Precipice Blades. Yeah. I also could... Oh, actually, maybe I should Trick Room. No, Trick Room doesn't make sense here because I have Fast Mons in the back. It's kind of a weird spot. You go for Flame Charge into my Farigiraf. Okay. You gain the speed boost. That makes sense. If I see Extracts, that makes sense. Okay. They're about to take a ton of damage though. Nice. We keep hitting the blades. I think we guarantee win off that. Nice. And here's a big foul play to hit the Miraidon. Beautiful. All right. Feeling pretty good about this win con because I think Iron Bundle seals it here. Unless it's Drain Punch Miraidon. If it's Drain Punch Miraidon, I'll be super upset. We'll go for a Trick Room, I suppose. And Precipice. They probably just draw off attacks here, realistically, I'd imagine, with like Overheat and Flame Charge. I'd Flame Charge again if I was them. It's fine if they Flame Charge, because if they Flame Charge, I mean, it really just depends. Are you actually Drain Punch Miraidon? Scovillain protects, so wait, they can only knock out one mod, so they just lose, I think. Yeah, they Collision Course my Groudon. Now they lose guaranteed off that. Okay, beautiful. As I Trick Room with Farigiraf, the Trick Room is up. Now my Farigiraf is the fastest thing under Trick Room. Sun fades, but that doesn't really... That does change, I guess, the Scovillain, but it doesn't change the fact that my Farigiraf was going to outspeed the Scovillain and foul play KO it, and then I go for the KO into the Miraidon with Electro Drift. So yeah, we had the game guaranteed sealed here. Yeah, it was just a really tough spot for them at that point. We go for Electro Drift and we go for foul play. Beautiful. Okay. I also still had Iron Bundle as a tech that I could have had remaining as well. And yeah, there wasn't really too much to say. Sash Bundle also had potential to win. I was going to set up for a... Like, I didn't think they were going to allow Farigiraf to survive the turn, which is why I thought like they were just going to overheat. And I thought we were going to have Iron Bundle next to Miraidon clean up the end game, but that's not what happened. They let me get Trick Room up, which they shouldn't have let me get Trick Room up, but beautiful. All right, we get rid of the Miraidon. I guess they were going for me on a throw on me not going for Trick Room and going for foul play KO to Scovillain, but like Trick Room was just so safe at that point. Because they were +1 speed, and then if Trick Room's up, that means my Farigiraf again outsped the Scovillain, foul play KO'd it, and then I just bring in my Miraidon, which is able to outspeed the Miraidon because they flame charged and seal up the win. So beautiful. All right, we have Terapagos, Miraidon with Sinistra, Incineroar, Iron Hands, and Cornerstone Ogerpon. So this is... All right, probably Electric Sea Terapagos, I'd imagine, with Miraidon. I'm kind of curious on what their item will be. This is going to be a bit tough. We have a few tools, though, like Roar. Farigiraf is actually really good against, like, Terapagos. We could get Light Screen up. All right, we have quite a few options. Groudon's really good offensively against their team. I wish we were clearing it, though. If we were clearing it, this would make things so much easier. But I don't think I mind it too much. I think I like Raging Bolt offensively because Raging Bolt's really good damage output. It has really good damage output here. I think Miraidon is definitely right to be brought here. I think I'm going to bring Miraidon plus... The thing is, I kind of don't want to lead Groudon. It's probably fine to lead. No, actually... Yeah, it's fine to lead Groudon. I think Miraidon Groudon's fine. Even though they're probably leading Pagos, they can only leave one of... Yeah, they can leave Pagos. They have to say Terrassization for the Pagos, so it's like a lot easier to maneuver. I think it's probably like... For Rigorath, Raging Bolt back? A Tailwind could be... Maybe Roar for Rigorath wasn't it? I don't know. Double Fake Out's really nice, but then I thought about it. I'm like, what if I got a Tailwind up with Whimsicott and just blew back the... What if I just blew back the Pagos, even if it's boosted? That was definitely an option. But we're going to see Miraidon Terrapagos, which is fine, versus Groudon plus my own Miraidon. They're usually not specs on the Miraidon, so I don't think I have to worry about Draco taking a knockout here. I think I'm just gonna go for... Are they gonna Terra immediately is the question, because Terra immediately would be interesting. I wish I had Snarl here. Snarl would be really nice on Miraidon, but unfortunately I don't. Now Miraidon's faster, which is not surprising. Drought is up. Are they gonna Terra immediately? I feel like the play is just to get damage into the Pagos with Electro Drift and Precipice Blades. I don't mind it too much. They immediately go for Draco Meteor. Okay. But Assault Vest Miraidon super clutch. Okay, beautiful. As we get an Electro Drift off into the Pagos. So we're going to get some really good damage into Pagos with this Electro Drift and the Precipice Blades that's also being fired off into Miraidon. So kind of curious here. That's a good amount of damage to resist. We outspeed the Pagos. That's actually huge info. We get the Precipice Blades off. We don't KO the Miraidon, but that's fine. And they Calm Mind. So very passive turn from them, but that works out. Okay. Do they knock out my Miraidon if they Draco again? I actually have no clue. I actually have no clue if they do. They're in Thunderclap range. They probably Volt Switch here. Do I need Miraidon? It's nice. It's not necessary. I mean, they're probably Volt Switching here into the Sinistra, I'd imagine. I don't know if you KO if you Terra though. I actually don't. I feel like you don't. You know what? I'm gonna Electro Drift again. And I'm gonna Heat Crash. I'm gonna Heat Crash the Miraidon. We see the Terra, so this is going to be the Terrapagos, which is not too surprising. Yeah, Terrapagos does go for Terrassization. That's fine. Sure. Electricity disappears. Went for Draco and a Groudon. What? What if I click Precipice Blades and Electro Drift? You just lose. What? And Electro Drift into Pagos. Still damage. E-Crash will come out in a Miraidon. Get the knockout. Why did they not Volt Switch into the Sinistra? Okay. Starstorm. This is not going to take a knockout. Okay, unfortunately we're playing out of electric terrain, so my rising voltage, like I really thought they were going to swap out here, but apparently not. I think we go Raging Bolt. Are they going Sinistra or are they going a Fake Out Mon first? I like Raging Bolt here. Incineroar, yeah, okay, that's perfect. They got the Intimidate off. I really like the idea of going for a Draco Meteor and swapping to Farigiraf. Yeah, I do. I'm gonna Draco and swap to Farigiraf. I think this works. I don't know. There's like a few things that could definitely go wrong here. Maybe I should have went for Heat Crash. They could definitely go for like Protect Parting if they want to. I feel like they're gonna maybe just fake out an attack. Yeah, they did. Perfect. I should get the knockout and a Pagos here. Beautiful. And I outspeed the Pagos, which is surprising. I get the KO on Terrapagos and Terrapagos goes down. So beautiful. Okay, Terrapagos goes down. I'll take it. What's the last mon? Over restrictions are down. I guess Roar Farigiraf. I mean, Farigiraf did come out in handy because of the fact that I did have the Ooh, Iron Hands. Okay, I think we're in a game-winning spot then. Yeah, I just need to make sure Groudon doesn't go down quickly, but otherwise I think we're in a fantastic spot. I think we just get damage into the instant. We're going to go for Rising Voltage and Helping Hand, I suppose, because Foul Play damage into hands is not doing anything. Hands can still be a problem, but if they double up my Raging Bolt and take the KO, that's fine. Then I get a free switch to Groudon. I mean, I still have to hit Blades, which is the unfortunate part, but like that's just like life in general, right? That's just life in general. Did they locate that slot? They should. Yep. All right. Groudon. You just have to hit one, buddy. You just have to hit one. Terrestrialization wise, what's better? Is it the Groudon? I want to get Leftovers Recovery, but I think it's really not the play. Nah, we have to get the KO onto Iron Hands. We go for Helping Hand, Terrifier, Precipice Blades, because I think Knockoff we're out of range of, but the Flare Blitz would KO. So I go for Terrifier anyway. I go for the Precipice Blades. They're not clicking Wall Charge anyway. They're clicking Low Kick, and I don't have a Terra doesn't factor that, so it doesn't matter in that case. All right. Helping Hand with Farigiraf. Power up this Groudon. We hit both. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. I think it's... Oh, we don't KO the Iron Hands. That's Helping Hand Precipice Blades. That was Helping Hand Precipice Blades and that didn't knock out Iron Hands. I mean, I think I win because I'm pretty sure Foul Play will KO the hands. I don't have Psychic, unfortunately. I do outspeed, so I should KO here. Okay, good. If I lost that to the hands surviving Helping Hand Precipice Blades, I would have been shocked. I would have been shocked, but thankfully, Farigiraf was faster and we were able to outspeed. I was like, should be faster. I'm shocked that lived. Iron Hands is just such an insane Pokemon. What the heck, man? Okay, we have Aaron, Cybertron, Zang running that Cinchino team we featured on the channel before. I don't remember all the sets though. I know it's Choice Band Facade, Dragonite. Isn't it Covercloak Pow? It is Covercloak Pow, yeah. This will be interesting. All right, how am I approaching this one? Iron Bundle is interesting here. Where was the Sash on this team? It's Covercloak Qianpao, right? I'm like pretty confident. It is Covercloak Qianpao, yeah. What do I want to go here? Farigiraf is decent. There's a lot that I have potential wise with. Honestly, Miraidon Farig with Terrifier actually seems pretty good here. Does seem pretty good. If I get Trick Room up, I'm in a great spot. I think it's Farigiraf. Farigiraf Miraidon actually seems pretty good. Miraidon and Groudon back also sound really good. As long as I Rising Voltage them, I think I win. So let's see here. Was it Ice Spinner? No, it was Crash. It had to be Crash Pow. Also, the Pow is going to be slower because I think it was Adamant Pow on that team for some reason. I know it was Adamant Cinchino. I don't think they should bring Cinchino in this matchup ever, but we'll see. I guess it has triple axle, I suppose, for my team, but like it does nothing to my Okay, they lead Whimsicott and Cinchino. It has Rock Blast and Triple Axle. Electric Seed boost to Farigiraf. Whimsicott didn't have Trick Room on this team, no. Do I think triple axle KOs? I feel like the answer is no. I'm just worried if they rock blast for some reason. The Miraidon expected like Terra Fairy or something. I think my play is just to overheat the whims. Yeah. I mean, they have to tailwind in order to outspeed Miraidon. If they don't tailwind, they don't outspeed the Miraidon. And if they tailwind, I mean, it's a Trick Room team, so I'm feeling okay about that. It protects Inchino, which is amazing for me, okay? As I cook the Whimsicott here, bring it down to Sash, that's fine. Oh, did they Endeavor? They might have Endeavored. Because I think it was Endeavor Whims. Oh, they just Moonblast. Okay, cool. As Trick Room goes up, good. Okay. In a foul play, and I think you can take my Miraidon realistically. Yeah, they can take my Miraidon. They retreat Whimsicott, so is this Zamazenta? Zamazenta would make sense. Yeah, okay. We get a foul play off, and I get some chip. What Terra was it? I can't remember. Okay, Miraidon goes down. I'm fine with taking Miraidon down. All right, we're gonna go into Raging Bolt. They do not have any good switches, so are they gonna attack with the Raging Bolt? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel like they might protect and attack with Cinchino. You know what? I'm just gonna Rising Voltage the Cinchino. They either double protect the Scout, which is fine because I get the Sun Up. Spooky. Because like what I'm most worried about is they protect, go for a knockoff into my Raging Bolt, and then I lose my Life Orb, so I can't KO like the Zamazenta potentially. And if they double protect, I punish with Heat Crash the next turn and Terra Electric Rising Voltage. I'm pretty sure Heat Crash would KO Cinchino. That thing's defense is awful. That thing's defense is awful. Perfect. Okay, if they double protect, this is fine too. Nice. Got him. Got him. Goodbye. All right, I respected the Cinchino and I was right. Because like I could have just Terra Electric Rising Voltage there, the Zamazenta, and I didn't think they would let that. So knockoff Gary into item makes sense. Ooh, okay. They go Whimsicott, that's fine because I Heat Crash plus Terra Electric Rising Voltage. If they go POW, I think I do the same thing anyway. They have Miraidon back. It's interesting to say the least. If it's Miraidon, I Terra Electric Rising Voltage, right? Yeah, I do. Miraidon comes in. Who's faster, Groudon or Raging Bolt? Raging Bolt. Okay. I think I Precipice Blades. And I Terra Electric Rising Voltage to Zama. Yeah, no, this is correct. The reason is they can either wide guard the Zama or they switch out and sack the Whimsicott. If they sack the Whimsicott, I get a single target Blaze off into Miraidon, and if they Terra, that's fine. Yeah, this is fine. Yeah, they bring out the Whimsicott. I get a single target Blaze off into Miraidon. And if they're Fairy Terra, I forget the Miraidon set. I'm pretty sure it's Specs. But like no matter what move they lock into, it's unfavorable for them. So Terra Electric, you. They do Terra the Miraidon. Should be Fairy. Because why would you Terra? Yeah, okay. As long as I KO here, I'm fine. And Gleam won't KO my Raging Bolt, which is perfect. The Rising Voltage. Goodbye Whimsicott. I guess Groudon's going to take a lot of damage, but the Zamazenta is no longer a +1 defense. I need to hit Blades though. Okay. Single target Blaze does a lot of damage. They do go for Dazzle. Perfect. It doesn't even... Okay, it's a Life Orb on the Miraidon. Actually, Life Orb Miraidon makes this interesting. Life Orb Miraidon does make it interesting. Oh yeah, it's no Volt Switch on this Miraidon. It's Dazzling Gleam Draco Meteor attack. Yeah. Okay, this is actually a bit of an awkward endgame. Leftovers on Groudon actually will come in clutch though. It will actually come in clutch. So they should double protect. They should double protect. I'm feeling my play here is to go out in Farigiraf and get Trick Room up again. I guarantee win here. They should double protect here. If they attack with the Miraidon aggressively, they got me. But the reason I'm going for this is so I can Thunderclap Trick Room the next turn, and then I have Heat Crash available. We'll see. They do protect the Zama. They should be protecting Mirai. Yeah, okay. Good. That Rising Voltage. Because the thing is, if I, like, let's say I stay in and I Heat Crash plus Thunderclap, they have a double protect angle, which I really don't like dealing with. So I'm going to Trick Room here. There's no way the Body Press is out damaging me. I guess I could protect Raging Bolt too. Ooh, do I want to risk that though? It's probably okay. They're probably going to go for Protect Body Press, I imagine. Yeah, perfect. Oh, got him. Got him. Because it was just really unlikely they targeted Farigiraf. Like, that's just an insane hard read that they have to make there. And yeah, they went for the double protect plus the body press to give them odds. And I had a feeling that was going to be the suspicion. I got Trick Room up and now I'm in a phenomenal position. As I can foul play the Miraidon, and if it attacks, it goes down, and I get a Rising Voltage off into the Zamazenta. Battle gonna be forfeited. Oh, I had to play out of that one because, again, I didn't want to risk them getting a double protect, and I felt like I'd rather play on the odds of like what they were more likely to go for, and I got them. Oh, that was a close one. That was a close one. But you know what? We take that one. I think I got like a bunch of reads. They went for the Cinccino Whimsicott lead, and I'm just gonna say that, trust me, it's not the most powerful lead, man. It's really not. Roaring Moon, Incineroar, Fluttermane, Clefairy, Terapagos, and Zamazenta. What am I looking at here? Okay. Terapagos, Zamazenta is not a restricted duo. I don't think anyone has seen. Okay, what are we going here? I bring Farigiraf. I don't need lights. Oh, light skin's okay in this game. It's not necessary though. I'm either gonna go with a Whimsicott game plan before I'm debating about like the plans here. I think Whimsicott plus Roaring Moon or Whimsicott plus Miraidon or Whimsicott. Dude, I want to go Raging Bolt lead. No, it's so Flutter weak. I want to find something consistent here. Bundle's not going to do anything. I don't really like Farigiraf that much in this matchup. I think I'm going to go Whimsicott plus Miraidon. In the back, have Raging Bolt Groudon. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know. I don't think Clef Pagos is leading. I'm trying to cover a Flutter Mane lead. Terapagos Flutter Mane makes sense. Okay. Should always be booster energy. Wait, hold on. Who's the booster energy? It's not. It can't be the Flutter. Okay, electric terrain setup. Yeah, I'm not sure. To Tailwind or to Light Screen? That is the question. I think it's always Light Screen. I think it's just Light Screen and go for a Electro Drift into the Flutter. Okay, there's no Terrassalization. So Tailwind Electro Drift could have blown them back. They go for Icy Wind, which is fine. Doesn't do any damage after that Light Screen was set up. If they go for Calm Mind, I can Encore. Electro Drift is going to threaten the Flutter for a lot of damage. Sash, okay. It's interesting to see Sash on no Sun team. Starstorm immediately, but it does no damage because it's a Assault Vest and Light Screen. Yeah, actually did a bit more than I thought, but that's fine. We're going to Tailwind. And we're going to Parabolic Charge and get some HP back. Because with the Tailwind, we'll outspeed the Flutter Mane and break Terra Shell on the Terapagos without taking any damage. They actually switch out the Flutter Mane, so I'm kind of curious on who comes in. Almazenta, that takes a bit of chip. Okay. No Terra, or no Terrassalization, so here comes Parabolic Charge. I'll heal a bit from the Whimsicott too. I did good damage to Zalma, actually. All right, beautiful. Miraidon is healthy now. Very, very healthy. That actually recovered a lot of HP. They go for Starstorm and the Whims. Okay, perfect. Oh, they crit me. Wait, what? That wasn't a crit? Oh, it's Specs. It had to be Specs. All right, if it's Specs, I know my play. Raging Bolt in. Am I faster than my Raging Bolt? I am, right? Yeah, I can Volt Switch plus I think my play to double up the Pagos with Rising Voltage plus Volt Switch. It has to be Specs. It has to be Specs. I'm gonna Volt Switch, get the damage into the Terapagos, and then I have the boosted power of the Sun, boosting the Rising Voltage combined with Electric Terror. I think we KO Pagos with this double up. It also took a lot from Parabolic Charge, so I feel like it has to have knocked out. Which train disappears, but we'll reset it later. Volt Switch. I'm like pretty confident I KO. We bring out our Groudon. Drought is active. I could have Draco'd, but I didn't want to. I don't want to Draco if they switched Flutter, and I Draco'd the Zama. Here comes Rising Voltage. This should easily KO, I'd imagine. Yeah. Okay. Parappa goes down. That's the terrestrialization gone, so the Zama is actually affected by overheat on my Miraidon. So I'm liking this a lot if I get rid of the Flutter. He body pressed a Groudon too, so the Raging Bolt didn't take damage. Right, Moon coming in. Okay. I used Terrestrialization. I'm trying to figure out how this endgame is secured. You have to double up the Bolt to take the knockout into Bolt. I could Thunderclap Zama, which would probably KO if I switch him Miraidon. I don't think they can knock out the Groudon with a double up. Or I think it's very unlikely that they do. I think I'm going to go for Precipice Blades and a Protect. Because they have to target the Raging Bull. Because Raging Bull's just such a threat to them at this point. Yeah. Knock off Body Press into that slot. Beautiful. And now they're all in Thunderclap range. Beautiful. They didn't Tailwind either, which is surprising. Yeah, they went for Body Press. Beautiful. All right, feeling pretty good about this end game. I want to pull the Thunderclap now. I could. It could also Wide Guard here. I think my place... No, not attack my Groudon. Thunderclap the Moon, and I'm swapping the Miraidon. I think that's fine. Because we'll get Electric Terrain up, and we'll one-shot the Moon if they attack here. I just don't know if they Tailwind or not, or... Like, there's Wide Guard games, there's Tailwind Mine games, like, Thunderclap's a thing. Like, the only thing is Roaring Moon is not... is safe from, Thunderclap. So they protected Zama. Did they Tailwind? Or did they attack? Got him. Goodbye, Roy Moon. Got him. Electric Terrain. Critical hit on top of that. That shouldn't have mattered, though. That shouldn't have mattered. I know Roy Moon has good spit that, but that's Life Orb, Terra Electric in Sun Photosynthesis. Like, that's insane amounts of damage. Light Screen wears off, but I pretty much have done the damage I needed. Flutter Mane coming out. I just click Rising Voltage into Flutter, and I click Electric Drift into Zama, and I guarantee to win. Because even if the Zama's faster, I don't... Can the Zama be faster than this Miraidon? No, it can't be, right? Can Jolly max speed? Yeah, but Body Press crit from Jolly Zama probably wouldn't knock out the Miraidon that has bulk. Oh, gonna be forfeited. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Huge damage from Raging Bolt. Huge damage from Raging Bolt. That's what we love to see. That's what we love to see. We cooked so hard in that one, just doing so much damage to them. Absolutely happy with like how the damage output stacked up. But still strange. It was strange. It was Specs Pagos, which wasn't super expecting. I guess Miraidon took the Starstorm even better than I thought it would have. But yeah, was able to get some good damage across the board, put on a lot of pressure with Tailwind. Whimsicott was definitely the call. Very happy I brought Whimsicott. All right, we have Miraidon, Groudon, Volcarona, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, and Flutter Mane. I've seen so many different versions of this team. I'm pretty sure it got top 8 at Japan Nats. I've seen Covert Cloak everywhere on the Grimmsnarl. I've seen it on the Miraidon. All right. Do I have a safe combo? Hard to say. Hard to say. I'm gonna lock in Draco everything against my team. Opposing Groudon's really tough for this team. Opposing Groudon's unironically tough for this team. I think lead-wise, I'd probably go with... Either Groudon Whims or Groudon Bundle. Both aren't bad here. I think I like Whims Groudon a lot more though. I think Groudon Whims is fine. I want big bolt damage and I think Miraidon. My only problem is I'm very weak to their Miraidon. I'm very weak on hitting their Miraidon because I don't have Draco Meteor. So let's see how this goes. Because I wish I had Draco Meteor to be able to hit their Miraidon, but let's see. Grimmsnarl Groudon. This is a funny combo. Versus Groudon Whimsicott, sure. I don't know if we'll see screens. I don't need Tailwind. Never gonna Terra Fire in this spot. I have no switch into Groudon, unironically. I mean, I do have Grass Knot, which would do a ton of damage. We're gonna go for Grass Knot, and we're gonna go for... They're gonna go for Reflect anyway. Watch, this is gonna be like fake out Grimmsnarl into my Groudon. Oh, they went for Reflect. Okay, that works. KO Groudon, KO Groudon, Grass Knot. That's actually really good damage. That's good damage. I'm not complaining. Okay. That is some good damage. The problem is I have no idea my Groudon's going to be faster than their Groudon. So I could go Bolt and Protect. Which I think is the option here. I'm pretty confident I'll be faster, but we'll see. I'm just drawing off a Precipice Blades and Protect with Raging Bolt. If I don't KO, I just hope that I'm the faster Groudon the next turn. There's like not much to say, man. Like, I got to turn 1 right with the Grass Knot. I actually almost forgot I had Grass Knot, but yeah, I mean, it wasn't like a KO into Groudon. I wonder if it's a Assault Vest though. It might be a Assault Vest. I didn't want to go... Maybe I should have went Miraidon. I didn't want to overheat though, because that puts me in an unfavorable spot the next turn. Yeah, it would put me in a super unfavorable spot the next turn. We're gonna see Grimmsnarl retreat. There's no way you went hard Miraidon Instant? Does it make sense? Okay. Last one Miraidon? I'm curious if they can even beat Groudon at this point. Okay, they have Protect. My Raging Bolt was faster than their Groudon though. Interesting. Good damage to Ensign. They have to fake out my Bolt, right? Yeah, they have to fake out my Bolt. My Groudon's 100% faster than their Groudon. I go for Precipice Blades and I swap out in Miraidon because I don't need Miraidon anymore. Okay. Endgame's still spooky, but I think I have the tools that I need. Why did they fake out the Groudon? If I click Draco, they're in such a bad spot. There's Miraidon, but that's not that big of a deal. Oh, that actually makes it weird now. Because I was faster with my Raging Bolt. If I Draco, I'm in such a good spot. Maybe they didn't notice I was faster, or did I just misread it? Because I'm pretty sure I was faster with my Raging Bolt. Man. Are they going to protect Groudon and pivot? Okay. I could protect Precipice Blades, or I Draco. I don't want a Draco though at this point. I think I'm just gonna go for Blades. Hope that they protect. They switch on okay, this is good. They switch out into the Grim. Yep, perfect. Protect. Yeah, okay. I got that right. I get the KO on Grim Snarl. Doesn't matter if you miss this Blaze or not, Groudon. That's the blades you can miss. You can avoid that. Just hit your next ones, okay? We get the Rising Voltage off in the Grim, pick up the knockout. Beautiful. Still a spooky end game. The leftovers is actually adding up on the Groudon though for recovery, which is actually kind of nice. Okay. Miraidon coming in. Interesting. Who do you target? Either target my Raging Bolt or you target my Groudon. I think I have to get the call right and protect one and attack the other. Such an interesting read here. I think if I get this right, I win the game. Wait. Did they Terra or not? Oh, they probably Terra if they made this play right. If it was Terra Fairy Gleam, I should have Terra Electric the Raging Bolt and Rising Voltage. Yeah. Oh, this was so winnable too. If I just click Terra Electric Rising Voltage, I thought about that, but I should have thought about that harder. Okay. Because I knew the Groudon was decently likely to switch it. Okay, I guess it didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't matter, I guess. Oh, I would have had to tear. Okay, my best play then was to go for Terra Electric Thunderclap. The Miraidon. And that's also a reason why I didn't go for the Thunderclap, was because I felt like, okay, are they going into? But like, yeah, I'd probably Draco most likely. Can I win? I have to crit every P-Blades. Maybe dodge a Draco or two. That does so much damage. Okay, yeah, it's definitely specs. Blades, if we crit, instant. Nope. U-turn. Okay, yeah. Game is... Okay, no. I still play it out because they can miss Draco and they can, I can double crit, or I can crit the Groudon at least. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I just had to read the Miraidon Terra. I just had to make for a really hard read on the Miraidon Terra. Otherwise, like... What was it go? I mean, there's also the chance they gave me a Draco meteoring the Groudon. I felt like if I Draco meteored the Groudon, they're just in such an awful spot at that point. Maybe they were trying to go for Miraidon cleanup, but I don't know if Miraidon cleanup would have been as effective. Because the Groudon was Blades. I still had my Miraidon around. I think I would have been fine. Especially since I had Terrestrialization available. But we go for Blades. We go for the crits. They retreat the Miraidon. I mean, they have probably a guaranteed end game. We need to land Blades and we need to crit. And we miss Blades. We hit the Groudon. If we crit the Groudon, it doesn't change anything. Okay, yeah, but we don't. I horsepower going to take the knockout Groudon. Okay, I think it is Assault Vest, I think. If it's Assault... Well, actually, no. We don't know that for sure. Did we see Protect? Oh, no, we saw Protect. Never mind. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. We did see Protect earlier. Also, like, Grass, I probably would have done a lot less than. Was Bundle worth it, though? Maybe Bundle was worth it more than Whimsicott. Although the initial damage was really good, and we knew that they weren't clicking Fake Out. They couldn't Thunder Wave. But Bundle Ice Beam would have threatened the Groudon for a lot of damage, and also, like, threatened the Miraidon. Thunder Wave Grim would have been annoying. but I think it's just coming down to a few reads. I think if I made like 1 or 2 hard reads, because I think the fake out and the Groudon's a hard read if you expect the Raging Bolt to switch out, because otherwise Draco, the Groudon, I outspeed. I'm pretty sure I'm not crazy, right? I'm pretty sure my Raging Bolt protected before, but yeah, otherwise it would have been Terra Electric Thunderclap KO the Raging Bolts. That would have probably been the Raging Bolts target down the Miraidon. But yeah, Miraidon, Calyx, Ice Rider, Incineroar, Amoonguss, Landorus, Incarnate, and Urshifu. Okay, if this is the team that I think it is should be like Choice Scarf Miraidon generally on these builds. Terra Steel, Life Orb Lando, Rocky Helmet of Moon, Sash Urshifu, Assault Vest Incin, and the Cali Ice is Player Amulet, Terra Fire. So this is going to be an interesting play. Scarf Miraidon is actually really good here. I do like Miraidon a lot. It's funny because the Lando has no switch to Terra to Erupt to Overheat. I actually really like I actually like the lead of Groudon plus Miraidon. It's actually pretty good here. Yeah, it is pretty good here, I'd say. I don't really like Iron Bundle. Whimsicott's like whatever. I think it's a Raging Bolt, and I bring the Giraffe in the back, so I have a backup to Cali Ice and have a way to play around Fake Out. I think the combo is really good here if this is the team I'm expecting, which was the team that Michael Kelch brought to NAIC and also won a Singapore Master Ball League currently. So let's see what they decide to lead. Miraidon, Cali Ice, perfect. So I have Precipice Blades active and I have Overheat active. I'm going to overheat the Cali Ice and I'm going to click Precipice Blades. It could protect the Cali, which is fine. I still get a Precipice Blades off of the Miraidon. I should live Draco Meteor from their Miraidon if they're not specs. So let's go for Precipice Blades and Overheat. Here's on what they decide to do here. They might just Draco immediately in Glacial, which would be perfectly fine. Okay, Cali protects. That's cool. Is this Volt Switch or is this Draco? They do Volt Switch. That's fine. It does no damage. Something's coming out. They now know I have Overheat, so they will probably want to go for Terastization in the upcoming turns. Incin coming in? Actually, I brought like a bunch of Ice Weeks. Oh, Amoonguss. Okay. That's funny. That's funny. Okay. I don't mind this spot though. Do I want to Terra Groudon or do I want to Terra Cali Ice? I probably want to Terra Groudon. Yeah, I Terra Groudon here. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch into the Cali Ice. Amoonguss is probably going to Rage Powder and they're going to sack it. I'm going to go for a Precipice Blades. A Terra Fire. And then we'll get in for Rigorath, which is able to switch him pretty comfortably against these Pokemon. So I feel pretty decent about this spot. It's not like the best spot because the Cali Ice is still threatening next to Miraidon, but this is where the fast Miraidon and Cali Ice are just awkward because always have a way to threaten one, and the speed tier is just awkward for them. Volt Switch, because if they Trick Room, that means my Groudon's faster than the Miraidon, which is huge. So now I bring out my Farigiraf. Which gets the Electric Seed up, which is beautiful. Precipice Blades. Does land on the Cali Ice. Awesome. And KO's Amoonguss. And that Blaze didn't do that much to Cali Ice. Thought it was going to do a bit more. But then again, I guess we're not near max attack. They do go for the Glacial, which is fine. Okay. Yep. Groudon able to heal from its leftovers. I mean, I'm feeling I'm still in a pretty good spot. Because they're going to go Miraidon back, or are they going to go Lando? If they go Lando, it's interesting, but they go Miraidon, which is fine. Are they going to Electric move here? If they Electric move, it's kind of a trap. Because I have Raging Bolt back as well. I think my play is just to foul play the Cali Ice. I have a few interesting plays. I just don't know if they Volt Switch to Farigiraf. I feel like I'd rather just foul play and I go for Precipice Blades. Because I don't mind if Groudon goes down. I get a free switch to my Dragons and I think it's a pretty okay spot. We see Terrestrialization come out. So is this Miraidon or is this Kali-Ice? Okay, so it's Miraidon. That's fine. You go for Terra Electric, so I'm assuming this is Terra Electric Drift, but if it's Terra Electric Drift, I think this is okay. You go for Volt Switch. Oh, they target for Rig. Awesome. Okay. As I said before, I felt like I was pretty alright here. Is this Lando? Is this Landorus? Or is this like... I don't know what he would bring that isn't Landorus realistically. I don't think you bring Ursh in this. Like, why would you not bring Landorus in this matchup? I almost debate about Heat crashing the Miraidon slot. Yeah, they did bring in Lando. Okay. Missing the Kali-Ice is kind of annoying. As a high horsepower, okay. Crit. Yep. That's a bad crit. That's a really bad crit. Okay. So the Lando on this team is generally slow. I don't know how much investment they have though. The Groudon runs like a bit, but I don't know if it'll be faster. I don't have Draco, which stinks on my Miraidon here. Oh, that's such a bad crit, man. I think I have to go Miraidon, which stinks. Okay. I think I have one play here, which is to overheat the Lando and Helping Hand and hope I get that knockout. Let's see. Because I really need that knock on the Lando really badly. The Mist might actually come into play in like a turn or two, actually, on the Kali-Ice as well. Yeah, because the thing is, I don't know if Glacial will knock out my Groudon now. And if they knock out my Groudon, it's really bad. I really hope that Helping Hand... It ain't Glacial. It is not Glacial. But that's really massive here, actually. Although I still have to get a turn right the next turn. Okay, I land the overheat. Massive. This is Sun. Helping Hand. We KO... We have cooked the Lando. We have cooked the Lando. Okay. Get recovery on the Groudon. Kali-Ice back in. They expected the overheat and tried to swap in, but they didn't expect the Helping Hand Groudon. Oh, I have to land attacks, don't I? All right, we're going to go for overheat and we're going to go for Precipice Blades. It's either Helping Hand overheat or Helping Hand Precipice. I think I Precipice and overheat. They do target the Miraidon with Draco. That's good. Okay. I need to land both here. I need to land both here. Okay. We knock out Miraidon. We do knock out Miraidon. The Kali-Ice is low. I'm feeling pretty good about this end game. Feeling pretty good about this end game. They high horsepower. Wait, they trick them. They guarantee lose. Yeah, they guarantee lose. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We came out clutch. Groudon clutching it with the blades there. It was such a dangerous position. It was such a dangerous position. They had to Draco my Miraidon, or they had to go for like a... They had to lock in the Draco, basically. I knew that. They weren't going to lock in Electric Move. They had to Draco there. And because they locked in the Draco, it's like, okay, I either overheat in Sun, even at -2 in electric terrain against the Kali Ice. I hope it knocks out. And if that doesn't work out, I land the Blades with Groudon. So was really going for Raging Bolt cleanup endgame, and thankfully we got it. We go for Double Protect here, because this Kali Ice shouldn't be able to do anything. Then we go for Helping Hand Thunderclap the next turn, and that will blow up the Kali Ice. If they're Leech Seed, they can win. But oh wait, no, we already confirmed all the moves now. We saw Protect, we saw Glacial Lance, we saw High Horsepower, we saw Trick 'em. Okay, yeah, it's guaranteed. I was like, okay, is there a world that they can win if they change the set somehow? But we already revealed all the information. At least I'm pretty sure we saw Protect. We definitely saw the other 3 moves. But yeah, Helping Hand Thunderclap. And the Groudon is helping its buddy take down this Kali Ice. Yeah, okay. I was about to say, there's no way you live. Helping Hand, a Life Orb, Thunderclap. Okay, beautiful. Oh man, that was such a scary game. That was such a scary game. But thankfully, coming out on top, Groudon, it missed 1 Blades, but it hit the rest when it needed to. So absolutely huge. In game 1, let me just say, the Kali Ice got obliterated by the Helping Hand overheat in the Sun from my Miraidon with no Terra Fire, by the way. I was just able to knock out their Kali Ice immediately. It was cooked, just cooked. In game 2, Scovillain with Koraidon alongside Lunala Entity. Wasn't sure on the lead, but they led the Lunala Entity. However, with U-turn Iron Bundle, I was able to pivot around, make sure Expanding Force wasn't a huge threat, get rid of the Entity plus the Lunala combination. Scovillain plus Koraidon entered the field, and then I actually was able to weaken them and set up a Trick Room again, even though I reversed their Trick Room earlier, so I could clean up because they were faster because of the Flame Charge Koraidon. In game 3, I am surprised that there was no Sinistra brought, and we ended up trading Miraidons. I still can't believe they risked the game to me clicking Precipice Blades and Electric Drift once again at turn 2, but thankfully was able to have the Farigiraf in the back for the Armor Tail, was able to KO the Terapagos, and Groudon was able to hit its Blades, which was important. Still surprised it didn't KO Iron Hands, but thankfully it did enough damage to put in range of my Farigiraf that outsped and KO'd it with the Foul Play afterwards. In game 4, we played a legendary Aaron Cybertron Zang using the Cinccino team, or is it Cinccino team, that was able to finish in the top 100 of the last ranked season. We have featured the team before, and Women's God Cinccino isn't really the biggest threatening lead at all. I was able to get Trick Room up very safely with Farigiraf. I made a few hard callouts in ways that I would make sure that he wouldn't be able to reposition to try and have a chance of winning, and it worked out successfully as I got pretty much every read right towards the end game. In game 5, Light Screen Whimsicott proved valuable and was able to get every call with the Raging Bolt that led to a very shocking knockout every single time. In game 6, Groudon is a little bit rough for the team when I don't exactly have switches and I wasn't able to KO it in time thanks to the Intimidate and the Reflect. There was an opportunity with Raging Bolt, but they did ignore the threat of the Raging Bolt, which I think was faster than the Groudon if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I went for Protect before the Groudon, which meant that I could have went for Draco KO'd and been in a much better spot, but unfortunately sacrificed my Miraidon instead. They brought out their Miraidon, and then I probably had to make a really hard call from behind, but unfortunately I did get the call wrong. I think I would have had to gone for a Terra Electric Thunderclap, which I think should have been able to KO at that range, especially with no light screen up, but again, it was a hard read and I did not get it right. There were so many options that they had access to. In game 7, Overheat Miraidon started cooking, threatening the Calix Ice Rider as well as the Landorus, just knocking it out. Maybe there were a few plays I could have went for, like Heat Crash into the Miraidon, raiding the land of Volt Switch. I didn't think they were going to go for Terra Electric Volt Switch into my Giraffe. I thought they might have went for an Electric Drift instead, and the crit did put me in a bad spot, but thankfully did have enough, especially because they switched out to Kali Ice, which meant they lost momentum, and was able to finish off the game from there. So how was the team? Team was really fun. I surprised by some of the attacks, like the leftovers on Groudon. I'm not sure, I'm still debating about this one, but it was actually helpful getting a bit of recovery some games. There are other games where maybe like a Clear Amulet might have been able to help out the Groudon even more, but overall Raging Bolt was able to do some crazy damage. The Miraidon with Overheat was like, oh my goodness. In Sun, we never Terra Fired the Miraidon, but like that Overheat was actually doing a good amount of damage across the board. And yeah, the team was really fun. If you want to try it out, the rental code is on your screen. Hopefully it's still available by the time the video comes out. If you would like to check out the details of the team and the creator, they'll be linked in the description down below. And of course, subscribe to the channel for more VGC content as always.